What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so yesterday, of course, I reported on this platform that Kevin Durant went in on Stephen A. Smith in an interview with I believe it was The Athletic, where despite the fact that it appeared that Kevin Durant and Stephen A. Smith had pretty much squashed whatever beef they had years ago. It was some years ago, Stephen A. Smith appeared in an interview on Kevin Durant's podcast or talk show, whatever it's called. I think it was The Boardroom or something. Everything seemed cool with him. I think Stephen A. Smith even appeared in some documentary that Kevin Durant was involved in. But recent criticisms that Stephen A. Smith had of Kevin Durant's leadership of the Phoenix Suns got the best of him, and he referred to Stephen A. Smith as a clown. And he told the media there, you can print that. We were waiting for Stephen A. Smith to finally respond, and he did. He responded on his show, First Take, and according to him, that's not going to be the last of it. He's going to go more in depth on his podcast, the Stephen A. Smith podcast that is on YouTube. So here is Stephen A. Smith now.
Durant, let's try to get this one out. This to say about you, Stephen A. to The Athletic, quote, I don't understand how people even listen to Stephen A. I've been in the league for 18 years. I've never seen Stephen A. at a practice or a film session or a shoot around. I've never seen him anywhere but on TV talking expletive about players. He's a clown to me. He's always been a clown, and you can write that too. Okay, Stephen A., floor is yours.
I got bad news for Kevin Durant. If you're expecting me to reciprocate with that kind of pettiness and childishness, it's not going to happen. Kevin Durant is one of the greatest players to have ever played this game. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's a two-time champion, a two-time league finals MVP. And I've been on the record saying he's also a good dude. So if he wants to resort to that level, even though we're both grown men, and if he had something to say, he knows my number, and he refrains from doing so, that's what he has to live with. But having said all of that, respectfully, Kevin Durant, could you stop lying, please? I've been an NBA reporter, and I was a columnist for the Philadelphia Inquirer as well. Kevin Durant has seen me in the locker room when he was at Oklahoma City. He has seen me in the locker room when he was at Golden State. He has certainly seen me at games throughout his career. But unfortunately for him, I don't have to be at shoot-around. And I don't have to be in the post-game locker room. I happen to have a hit show that's been number one for 12 years. I have other things to do with my time. I go to games all the time. I'm not a beat writer anymore. So let's get that out the way. The other thing that I would say is this, respectfully. Kevin Durant is going to have to answer this question. Who's allowed to talk about him? Charles Barkley played this game as a Hall of Famer. He got a Charles Barkley. Shannon Sharpe is a Super Bowl champion, a three-time Super Bowl champion, and a Hall of Famer. He got a Shannon. He's gotten at players, the C.J. McCollums of the world, the Dennis Schroeders of the world, and others. He's gotten at fans. And oh, by the way, did it discreetly because he had, accounts that didn't reveal who he was, okay? So there's a whole bunch of things. So I don't understand it. It's contemporaries and colleagues. It's former players. It's present players. It's the media. It's the fans. It's whomever. Is anyone allowed to talk about Kevin Durant? Anybody at all? Because I don't understand it. I really don't get it. Anybody that has something to say isn't qualified to say something about him. I'm not going to disrespect him. I respect him too much. And I will reiterate to the audience what I said. He's one of the greatest players to have ever played this game. And regardless of his sensitivity and petulance and flagrant immaturity, he also happens to be a very, very good dude. I've always had profound respect for him. I'm the same guy, Kevin Durant, that you asked to show up on your show, The Boardroom. I'm the same guy that you executive produced a documentary on Stephon Marbury and featured me in it. I'm that same guy that you said you don't want anybody to listen to. Yet you had me on stuff you executive produced for people to listen to. Now that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. I'll have more to say about it, more in depth and more specifically on the Stephen A. Smith Show on YouTube and iHeartRadio this afternoon. I'm not finished at all, but I will not disrespect him the way that he disrespected me. It's unfortunate that no matter how old he gets, his sensitivity seems to heighten with it and his maturity doesn't, but that's something he has to live with.
Oh my God, man. Look, first of all, isn't this man just the king of passive aggressiveness? I'm not going to denigrate Kevin Durant. He's one of the greatest players of all time. But then you denigrate him by saying that he's childish and petty and his immaturity grows as he gets older. But then you try to clean up by saying, I'm not going to disrespect him. But you disrespected him. You clearly disrespected him again by what you just said. Then you said something about, I don't know if it was in this clip, but I heard a clip where, because I was kind of like thinking while he was talking, so I might have missed little things last minute and a half, but I heard him say something about, I hope that, you don't get swept again in the playoffs. So he just straight dissing him while playing victim. It's funny how Stephen A. Smith can say whatever the fuck he want to say, right? But then when somebody claps back at him like a Monica McNutt, he gets in his feelings. Who, by the way, you guys confirmed it because I don't really watch First Take anymore. She hasn't been back since he said that. Now, what type of pettiness is that? Look what he did to poor Max Kellerman on account of what Terrell Owens said, who hasn't been back since. But you're telling other people they're being petty and childish. Are you serious? Who's more childish than you? And even if he did have you on his show, the boardroom talk show, and if he did use you for a documentary, well, the media is a circus, right? And we all know that you hire clowns to be part of the circus. So you're just doing what you are, a clown. You are one. Matter of fact, I don't know why I didn't put a big old floppy balding wig on you, Bozo the Clown wig, and nose on this one too. But I wasn't thinking about it. Unbelievable. I don't think the problem is that KD feels like he can't be criticized. Yes, we all know KD is sensitive. I mean, I ain't lying about that. And, that's true. But at the end of the day, why does the fourth estate, and when I say the fourth estate, I mean the media, the mainstream media, why do they feel like they have a right to critique players and say whatever they say, and their word needs to be respected, but the players cannot respond to them? And when the players respond to them, then all of a sudden the players are sensitive. I don't think the problem is that he can't take criticism. The problem is that people know what you're all about now. You use your pulpit, your platform, to create narratives. That's what you do. You create narratives. And people are catching on to that. You weaponize your pulpit. You're not about sports journalism anymore. You're about Stephen A. Smith. You said that you're not going to denigrate and come back at him, but then you promoted your podcast, saying you're going to respond to him. You're a clown, man. You're a clown. It's not about covering sports. It's not about any of that. It's always been about promoting Stephen A. Smith. That's why you're clamoring right now to be on CNN or Fox News, excuse me. That's why you rub elbows from people on the left and the right. That's why you're friends with Sean Hannity, and I'm pretty sure you're friends with people on the left, or at least supposed to be on the left, because you're just looking for a way to expand your brand. That's all it's about right now. And anybody that insults you It's a problem. You can say whatever you want to say, but nobody else can't say anything to you. So you're the Mr. Sensitive. Like I said before, if that's not the facts, then why Monica McNulty been back on your show since? Why did your colleague, it was his name, Doug Jones, I think it is, why did he like a tweet of somebody calling you a buck dancer? That's supposed to be your esteemed colleague. Why is it there reports out that you and Shannon Sharp are running amok on ESPN, trying to bully everybody? You know what I'm saying? You getting people fired left and right so they can make room in the budget to pay you your $25 million a year. Why do your colleagues hate you? BSPN has taken a huge hit since the late great Stuart Scott died. It's been downhill because that paved the way for this clown. So I hope that Kevin Durant comes back and, you know what I'm saying, claps back at this guy. I'm going to see what he say on his podcast, Stephen A. Smith, you know. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it in this one, man. Tell me what you guys think.